In the top right of the map here on Habitation Station, it is our purple-colored Terran. Day 9 Ladder Clan's Greedo.
And in the top left, yellow Protoss. Come at me, bro. It is also Day 9 Ladder Clans. Fade. Dead Frogs in the chat.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, these two guys actually are kind of, I would say they're quasi in charge of this clan. Greedo, I think, is the guy who actually runs it. Fade, tries to organize events for it occasionally. Like he tried to work on a tournament for it the other day, though he wasn't able quite to get a number of people together for it. So this is pretty cool. Greedo is plat though, and Fade only recently got to gold. So hence the reason why Fade's saying hashtag not scared in the chat.
Throwing a lot of hashtags around tonight.
The thing we've always got to remember with Fade is that he plays a very aggressive style of play. So say Greedo's main strength is macro. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win this, because he may not really get to macro much in this match beyond the earlier stages.
Right. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that early aggression. Early aggression from Fade. Both gases going down.
So both gases from Fade. This is a really early too. This actually might be a fast DT or a fast Oracle. I think it's pretty much usually one or the other. He didn't do it too late, so it's not like he forgot, I don't think. And judging by the positioning of that probe, you notice that Greedo is actually checking around a little bit. He knows how Fade plays.
Oh, yeah.
So he's definitely going to be watching for something. Yeah, he's not even running to the other map to scout. He's just looking for where that probe went. That's all he wants to know. I don't really blame him for that either.
He's pumping on Marines too, regardless of the gas here. I think he knows what's going on.
Yes, or if anything else, he suspects it. He doesn't know what it is yet, so it looks like he's guessing oracles, most likely. But we'll see. Lag. Hashtag lag.
Hashtag
yes.
lag, yes.
It's happening. The lag is real.
How did I know that was coming next? The lag is real right now, bro. Chrono boosting out his Stalker, getting Warp Gate right next to that, so...
It's my computer beat down. Okay, so we know Greedo is the problem. So eventually this means that as this match goes on, StarCraft 2 will put a message at the top saying Greedo is the problem, more or less, and then we'll click X on it and ignore it. Maybe I find that particular piece of the interface to be a little ridiculous. Also, that SCV is very lucky. Pylon down here, 4-minute 30-second mark. Twilight Council down, so it's time for DTs. And this SCV is going to be like, what are you building? Oh, there's a Twilight Council. Now, back over in the base, we're going to see him start building up units in order to deal with a Stalker threat, and probably throw down a missile turret just in case.
Oop.
Stalker at the front.
Of the ramp.
Wants to get an idea what's going on. Sees that sees that something is being researched. Doesn't know if it's stim or not. I would probably assume it's stim, but concussion shells is actually a lot faster. So, if only he could see the bar. But I guess what you would do if you're a really good player, you would just keep a mental note of when you saw that start, and then you would check up there at a point later to see if it was stim or concussive shells. But it looks like Blink Tech from Fade.
Blink and no DTs. Damn it.
Blink 4-gate. And it looks like Greedo's more or less prepared for this. He's already got a Marauder. And it looks like he's going to be grabbing probably more of that. Good reactor on the... let's see, reactor on the factory. If he can grab a couple Widow Mines, that would actually help out quite a bit against any push of this type with gateway units.
Especially with the bonus against shields.
Or even just sneak it around the map, placing the opponent's mineral line. Very good way to shut that down, though he could just be going for Hellions as well. He's grabbing a starport.
Drops or heals? What do you think? A drop would be an awesome counter to a 4-gate.
You know, that or a Banshee. I mean, I think any kind of cloak tech is very difficult to deal with from Fate's position at the moment. Because he doesn't really want to get a robo, and he doesn't have protection any of the form. He's going to run to the top here, see that all get his bunker, his marauder. He's going to try and blink against this for a little while, and then we'll see him leave. There's just really nothing he can do against that army. And Greedo's going to take the opportunity to expand.
Very good. He's going to try more of this aggression, but I think just the Marauders are piling up here, and they have concussive shells too, so even though the Stalkers blink, they still have their movement speed hindered temporarily.
The thing is, I don't think he can get enough Stalkers up to actually really break this, as long as there's some repair on the bunker. Even without it, once these 2 Widow Mines are out, it's going to be really possible. Nice micro, though. So he's still keeping pressure on the front. He's forcing Greedo not to get greedy. He's just saying, you gotta stay here, you gotta keep making units. Even throwing down a mule to repair. Interesting.
Unique.
Yeah, probably not. That hashtag wouldn't work. It would be hashtag wow, I am playing bad.
Yes, it would.
As Twitter has taught me. But yeah, I'm actually not too much of a fan of this, because I think you could actually get a lot more value out of the mule by just putting that down so you can SCV over instead. But you know what? Honestly, it doesn't really matter in this particular situation. As long as he doesn't forget it's there entirely and leave it there to rot, so to speak.
And Fade's backup plan is a Nexus.
Yeah, pretty much have nothing else he can do here. He has to take a risk. He has to say, okay, I'm going to counter one of the potential things that's happening right now. By the way, Mothership Core floating underneath it. He's going to get an eyeball on what's going on. He's going to see the engineering bay that was being started. He's going to see the factory and the starport. Sees the reactor on the starport, knows not to fear Banshees, at least for the short term. But yeah, getting this Nexus out is one of his available options. He could go, say, he can basically guess and say, okay, maybe I need detection for Banshees, if that's what he's going to do behind this, I don't know. He can try to counter the economy, which is what he's doing here. But that only works if nothing else is happening. So, like, if he picks up a couple of Widow Mines and drops them in the base, there's literally nothing Fade can do about it, really, unless he kills them before they plant.
Oh, things get tense up at the ramp here.
Yeah, so this is a very weak position for our Protoss player at the moment. He's also supply blocked, which doesn't help.
When you're doing aggression, it's important to stay on the supply. As units die, you need to be able to replenish those as quickly as possible.
You know, and I've noticed that that particular supply block that he had for a moment there, which was at 50, that was, and there's the DTs. So that's kind of where I find it tends to happen too whenever I'm forward getting. Okay, engagement starting at the front here. Fade not paying 100% attention, doesn't want to really get into an engagement with the army. Did see it attempt to move out though, is gonna fall back to his natural and make sure he can defend that. Still has a forward pylon though, so he's gonna be able to warp in the DTs once they're done. Now, what do we have here? We have enough energy, actually, for one scan. Looks like he's actually just using all of it on mules, though, so this DT choice could actually be very, very powerful here.
Poking out a little bit down the ramp, trying to see if he can find that proxy pylon, and he does.
He does. There's another one back over at the watchtower. He's not going to be able to hold that for long. And I think it's going to finish... the Dark Shade might finish in time for him to actually get that usable. Yeah, okay. Well, it helps a lot if Greedo just waits for the upgrades.
Yes, it does.
And he needs 10 seconds. And he's not going to get it. And nope. Shuts that down.
Supply blocking Fade.
It's just those 2 pylons. But he had a couple more warping in, so he's alright. He's going to warp in defensive DTs. And this is actually going to push the attack from Greedo back pretty hard here, unless he has a scan save up, which actually he does. Yeah, he doesn't want to engage that if he can help it, especially with the Mothership Core there. I do not want to send all of them. Okay, all your eggs in one basket, that's what happens.
3 DTs for 1 Marine. Not something you want to trade.
About moving up there, Photon Overcharge is active though. I don't really like attacking into that in this situation. This is the only way Fade really can get a decent comeback. Not to mention there's still another DT in there.
Plenty of gateways coming down too.
So he's done a 4 gate, and he's going to move up into an 8 gate now. More or less. 8 gate with DTs. And there are now pylons sitting out on the map. I think Greedo believes that he's taking care of these. He's not actually checking for them. He does have detection at the front, though, so the Widow Mines should, along with this bunker, actually lock down any kind of DT attempt. But he doesn't have anything at the skull base here, so as long as this DT, yes, and it does go up there. These two are going to get shut down, but this one's actually going to make it in and delay this expansion.
Filling up all these medevacs, he's going to drop on top of the freshly built gateways.
Oh, he's not even going for the SCV. Yeah, he's just going to force the cancel that way, kill the SCV, and block the expansion. It's really nicely done. Unfortunately, he is losing gateways to the top, but he actually isn't really using it yet. There we go. Notices the DT tech's going to take that out. And it looks like Fate's just going to let him do whatever he wants. He's not even going to really move up there to attack that. And the longer this keeps happening, there we go. Now he's moving up to respond. Whoa! Total liftoff! Loses 1 medevac worth of units. Ugh. Almost lost the second one. If he had, that would have been very bad. But I think just killing the DT tech is enough to actually set Fate back to a pretty dramatic degree. Could sneak a base out, though. Or he's working on it.
So, I don't know. How do you think this is going to swing? We do have a Robo coming out, but he's going to have to... It's going to be tough for the Colossus and just all these Marines. I mean, he doesn't have a lot to stall.
Yeah, Greedo has a big edge here. You can see in the space down here is going to help him out a lot. He's going to try and engage that. Stalker's actually going to blink forward to attack. Really needs to separate the DT from the army there so he can actually do some work. Good. He's not going to be able to hold the space. This was a risk that he was taking trying to pick this up. Doesn't really look like it's going to quite work out, though. He's going to engage with the Stalkers, getting trapped in the center between the reinforcements and the main army. DT is going to work, but it was scanned and shut down, and I would say that, yeah, this is Greedo's game.